In this video, we're going to talk about adding shadows. There are two specific kinds of shadows. One is the text shadow. Let's go ahead and play with that up here on this heading, Learning for Life. So if we go find it, it's up here at the top where we have in our header, we have an H1. And we can go ahead and put a text shadow. Now, text shadow, you do several properties. The first one is the horizontal shadow. So if it's positive, it goes to the right. If it's negative, it goes to the left. So let's do it on the right. And let's do a 6-pixel shadow. And then the next one is the vertical shadow. So if it's positive, it'll be down. If it's negative, it'll be up. So let's go ahead and do 4 pixels there. The next value is how much blur you want. So I'm going to put a pretty big blur here. I'll do 8-pixel blur. And the last one is the color. So let's see, what color do we want this to be shadowed? Let's go ahead and pick just the next step darker color on this. So it's almost the same color, and in fact you can have it be the same color. So I do that and I push save and I come back and refresh, and there I have a shadow. Now notice that you can see the letters just barely. Maybe if I make them a little bit bigger, they'll be easier for you to see. See, I can see those letters. Now if I take the blur down and I say, ooh, only do 2-pixel blur, and I refresh, then those become much cleaner. In fact, I can go all the way down and say, let's do a 0-pixel blur. And there I just have a shadow, and it just truly, there's no blur, it's that happening again. If I pick a different color, we'll be able to see it a little bit better. Let me pick an orange color. And we see what that blur does, how it changes it from a nice solid. You can make 2 levels. And now watch what positioning does. So let's say that I only want it to be horizontally 2 pixels and vertically 2 pixels. Then it's going to pull it in really tight. And it's going to be right in there close, just 2 pixels off. And see how that shadow goes to the right. Again, let me change the blur so you can see what a difference the blur makes. And it just makes it not as clear. It's there, but it's very blurry. So you can get the shadows to be what you'd like and to see how they work. I'm going to go back here to make it really clear, and I'm going to put a negative horizontal number value, and notice how it moved it to the left. So it's still down because it's a positive vertical number, but if I make that negative as well, it is going to go up because that's the vertical, and so the negative value will take it up, and there we have it up and to the left. So that's how you do a shadow on text. That's text shadow. The other type of shadow is a box shadow. Let's go ahead and put a shadow on this image. So that image has a class value dot words, and I do a box shadow, and it follows the same properties. So the first one is the horizontal value, so let's go ahead and make it 6 pixels, and the next one is the vertical, so either up or down, and let's go ahead and make it 4 pixels, and then the blur, so we'll stay with kind of a small blur at 2 pixels, and I'm going to go ahead and use that same orange color so it'll be very clear. And let's see what we get here. And there we get that orange shadow around there. Okay. Now again, you can change these properties to see what they look like. Let's change that 2-pixel blur to a 12-pixel blur. And there you get it, but it's a fuzzier kind of color, and we can make this bigger. So let's say we want 16 pixels horizontally and 14 pixels vertically. And you can see you get this really big shadow, but it's offset more both horizontally and vertically. And then we can see what we can do with negative numbers. Remember, the negative horizontal takes it to the left, and the negative vertical takes it up. And that's what you can do with shadows, and you can put shadows on lots of different things, either the text shadow or the box shadow. Fun to play with.